Hey everyone, so with the Superman Reborn arc that had basically changed Superman's timeline as it was just getting way too confusing. So I'm here to give you a simple but detailed guide to the world of the Man of Steel. This first episode will help you understand what happened to Superman from his origin to lead up to his death. So let's just get right into it, shall we? So the first and easily most important title on this list would be Secret Origins by Jeff Johns. Not only because it's now the current origin story thanks to the continuity shifts in Superman Reborn, but it's also just an amazing story. This gives you a great look at Clark as a child, his first experience with the Legion of Superheroes, some classic Christopher Reeves imagery, and an amazing characterization that no other Superman title has yet to top. I'd strongly recommend you pick this book up to experience for yourself or just steal it off the internet, whatever works for you. I'll leave the Amazon link in the description below to let you find any illegal methods on your own. So the thing is with Superman Reborn is that it basically took all the important parts of every needed story and threw it all into one pile and made it work. But the side effects of that leaves is that the actual book's super confusing to read and place in order just by yourselves. So what I'll do here is I'm going to only tell you the canon aspects of the book, so there's no room for confusion. Basically, in Grant Morrison's New 52 run of Action Comics, they changed the Kent family's death from something much better to just a simple car accident. Superman's parents died because of a drunk driver. This means that anywhere you see them further in this list, or anywhere else, that are actually dead. Now, the rest of this issue is also not canon thanks to Reborn, so you don't even have to bother reading the book. Just know that the Kents died in a car crash, and you're good. So the next book on this list is Justice League Origin because it's still the main origin for the Justice League, but some issues with the canon are kind of there. Basically, the way that Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman meet is now not canon in this book because in the Wonder Woman annual that happened recently, it had been retconned that they had actually met earlier. But besides that, it's still a pretty strong introduction to the Justice League and Darkseid, and I'd highly recommend you picking it up not just for the first volume, but Jeff Johns' entire run, as it's really solid. Like Secret Origins, I'll just throw it in the link down below so you can check it out. So with Action Comics Volume 1, Issue 595, it acts as the first appearance of Banshee, and it's the easiest one to read and get a feel for her character without getting too confusing now that Batman, Superman, Public Enemies isn't canon anymore. If you don't care and don't plan on reading the issue, I'll just let you know that this issue is also the first time the public believed Superman had died, so I view it as a fun little hint that you can read until the big shit comes along in Death of Superman. If you really want to read it yourself, Google is your best friend, to be honest. It really isn't that hard to find. So I consider the next three and final books in this list the Dan Jurgens trilogy, just as it helps lead us into the Death of Superman. Think of Superman Exile as Rainbow in space and you're pretty much good. Superman flies off to explore space when a personal failure is just too much for him on Earth, so it eventually leads him to Warworld and to a fight with Mongol, and Darkseid eventually tries to slide into Earth DMs, so Superman has to get his ass back there to show him what's good. He also runs into the Eradicator, which eventually becomes a major player in Superman lore, which leads us right into the day of the Krypton Man. Basically, while Superman was in space, he brought us back this really old Krypton device called the Eradicator. The device itself tries to terraform Earth into Krypton, aka Man of Steel, and it also changes Superman's personality into the quote-unquote perfect Kryptonian, one without emotion. This arc really likes to hint that Clark's death is coming, and it really works. It's a pretty solid story that helps Clark understand that he's bound by the needs of his home planet, and it allows him to grow. Link in the description. So with the next and final book, Crisis of the Kryptonite, say that three times fast, Mr. Mxyzptlk introduces us to the red kryptonite and helps Lex Luthor effectively take away Superman's powers. This book also hints at the eventual marriage between Lois and Clark. It's a great lead into the death of Superman, but still manages to not be required reading for it. Link in the description. So, there you have it, the first 7 books in the new canon that I classify as the Golden Age arc, just because it introduces us to the basics of Superman's world, and Golden Age just feels so right to say. Next part, we delve into the Death of Superman and all the really bad 90s arcs that stemmed from it. Until then, comment, like, and subscribe for more. Later.